There were some surprising names with some decent performances in Week 1. Were they for real? Let's check out a few of them. Sleeper quarterbacks in Week 1: Chad Henne, Jax, 266 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 8 rushing yards, 1 fumble lost, 16 fantasy points. If Henne had spent his career with a better team around him, we might view him differently. As it is, he's just the guy the Jaguars have until they have someone better. Meanwhile, he has put up a handful of good games when it is least expected. He can't be relied on in fantasy week to week, and no one is going to be starting him next week, even against a subpar Washington defense, but don't be surprised any time he offers fantasy scores in the high teens or 20s. Derek Carr, Oak, 151 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, -1 rushing yards, 14 fantasy points. One of the problems with less production at the top end of fantasy is that it trickles down. Normally, a 14-point day is barely an afterthought in fantasy, but Carr's 14 on this particular Sunday stands out a bit. Despite trailing, the Raiders tried to limit Carr's exposure in the game, keeping him to short passes. He averaged only 4.7 yards per pass attempt. Next week, against a Houston defense that is scary even without Jadeveon Clowney, Carr could fare much worse.